Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at our Rhino-Rack locking ski and snowboard carrier right here on our 2020 Ford Edge. So you're ready to hit the slopes, or you want to hit the slopes, and you have everything ready. You've got your ski equipment or your snowboard equipment, you've got all your gear. What you also need is a carrier to carry your skis and your snowboards from one place to another. So that's where this Rhino-Rack ski and snowboard carrier comes in handy. This is the locking ski and snowboard carrier, and it comes in a bunch of different shapes and sizes. The main thing about this is how simple it is. If you don't want to pay extra for other premium features you might not be interested in, and you just want something that can transport your gear safely, you might be interested in this one. So let's check it out. Through this video, we'll take a look at different specs, different measurements, just to see if it's the right fit for you, your gear, as well as your Ford Edge. So I have the Rhino-Rack locking ski and snowboard carrier in the size that can carry 4 pairs of skis or 2 snowboards. So you have different options. Check out the measurements on the product pages just to see if it fits whatever you want to carry, but we'll take a look at this size. So this is the Rhino-Rack locking ski and snowboard carrier, and that means it has locks. So you have one lock core here, one lock core there, and you can get them keyed alike with your other Rhino-Rack things if you want to. Check out that system here at eTrailer just to get multiple lock cores to match your other Rhino-Rack objects. But also, another thing you can do is not only can you lock the skis and snowboards itself, but you can also lock the carrier in a manner. So it doesn't really have a lock core, but it has a special bolt which can only be accessed with your special Rhino-Rack hex tool. So let's take some measurements. Now remember that these measurements will be different depending on what kind of roof rack system you have on your Ford Edge. So I have the inner roof rack system with the wider crossbars. So notice how I'm able to mount this to the overhang on the outside. Most of your other crossbars, you'll have to mount it towards the inside, reach in further to load your skis and snowboards. Definitely something worth considering. Now, this Ford Edge has the panoramic glass roof, so that's also something worth considering when it comes to clearances. So first, we'll take a look at roof clearance. Measuring from the top of the roof to the bottom of our snowboard, it sits at about 8 inches. Now measuring to the middle of our sets of skis, it sits at about 7.5 inches. So that measurement is important if you have extra large bindings. As you can see, we still have plenty of clearance between the top of our bindings and the top of our roof. But if you have larger bindings, you might not be able to open your glass roof, or it might hit your roof. So definitely something worth considering. You may have to move it where all your bindings are facing up. Just something you would have to adjust to. If that's going to be a major issue for you, if you have extra large bindings, you may want to check out the Yakima Fat Cat Evo, just because it has a ski lift which gives you a little extra clearance. But right here, right now, this looks pretty good. Now my roof rack sits 5 inches above my roof, if that helps you out with figuring out where this will sit on your roof. Now when you want to take your skis and snowboards off, notice how you have this button over here. It's not as large as the other button you can see on some skis and snowboard carriers, but definitely better than the one that's on the Inno ski and snowboard carrier. Because if you have your large like gloves or your mittens, you just press that with the palm of your hand, it pops right up, stays up, and allows you to take off your snowboards or your skis. On the inside, you have this rubber cushion. Now this is standard with most of your ski and snowboard carriers. They just kind of differ in terms of how it's shaped. We do have very, very different ski and snowboard carriers sometimes. So like the Kuat Grip has a very unique design. This one is pretty normal. You have the cushion on the top, you got the cushion on the bottom. You do have a pretty good clearance and size on it too though, and it does feel a little bit more stable than some of the others. So that's cool, especially as you get your longer Rhino-Rack ski and snowboard carrier. You're definitely going to see that as a very good feature. Now notice also how we have a pretty good hinge on this side, which is going to be for if you have your larger skis, you want a little bit more space. This has a little ratchet and it goes down and just secures your ski and snowboard, and then you can't really go unless you lock it. So please don't drive off without this locked into place. Now as for how this fits around the crossbars, we have these on the inner arrow crossbars, but they also fit on your factory, your square crossbars, or even your elliptical crossbars. So installing this ski and snowboard carrier is actually very, very simple. Almost a little bit more simple than some of the other ski and snowboard carriers that I have installed. You just need to loosen these clamps right over there. That way you can fit them around your crossbars. So you're going to use your included special Rhino-Rack tool. I'm actually going to place this on the overhang of our crossbar. There we go. And then fit that bottom bracket into that bolt and then tighten it down with your Rhino-Rack tool. So we have 4 different bolts over here, so just tighten them down. And what I like to do is just to tighten them evenly on each side, so like 75% this side, finish it off on this side and go to the other side. That way it doesn't skew one way to the other, and just make sure that you don't over tighten your bolts either. If your roof has a slight tilt, this is where you can adjust it. Now for the forward edge, it's very level, so there's no need to adjust any of your ski and snowboard carriers. So just tighten down this center bolt. Now with everything in place and tightened down, you're ready to load this up with your skis and snowboards or your fishing rods. So my personal thoughts about the ski and snowboard carrier is that it's a really simple one. If you're looking for simplicity, something minimalistic, something that just gets the job done and checks off all the boxes, I would go with this. It's especially affordable when you get to the larger ski and snowboard carriers, so definitely something worth taking a look at. You also have your different size options if it's just you and your friend and you don't need that much space and you want to use the crossbars on your forward edge for more things like a roof box or even like a bike rack. This would be a great option for you. Now if you're looking for more premium features, let's say you have taller bindings and you need extra clearance, check out the Yakima Fat Cat Evo. If you're wanting something even more premium, like that slides out and makes it a lot easier to load and unload your skis and snowboards, maybe check out the Kuat Grip instead. Those are all great options, but hopefully this video helped you out with looking at the pros and the cons of this ski and snowboard carrier, and you're able to see if it's the right fit for you, your skis and snowboards, and your forward edge. And that was a look here at our Rhino-Rack locking ski and snowboard carrier here on our 2020 Ford Edge.